Welcome to the Pilot-Mound Hockey Academy show. Joining me, head Coach Harry Mahesh. Doesn't look too worse for wear, considering we had a bit of a team-building exercise a little while ago. We'll get to that later. How does it feel right now, Harry, knowing that the regular season is finished?
Uh, feels, I mean, feels kind of like any other day, to be honest. I mean, the season, it's long. You're not looking forward to it being over, but really the key to playoffs is you just kind of treat it like every other day. So like, it just kind of feels like any other day.
We still are looking for that elusive W against the rink team, which is fine because it could happen in playoffs. Uh, we also played a Central Plains team that you've played twice now in the last month, if I'm correct. What did the two games provide to you as a positive on what is working well and what needs to be working on for the next couple of weeks before you head to BC?
There was some positives to take out of it. I think, the scores were. I mean, you never, even if it's a loss, you never really look at the score as a way to justify if it was a good game or not. But there was moments in there where I think we showed we could compete for sure. And I think all you need is a few moments to hold on to, and then you kind of channel those in and use it when it counts. But overall, I mean, the weekend provided us with a little bit of more confidence going into the finals there, or I guess I should say the playoffs, knowing that if we play our game, we still are capable of doing more against certain teams. So we just got to bring it for, again, I think we talked about in the first show, the full 60 minutes.
Yeah. We look at playing the full 60 minutes, playing our game. I mean, the one thing you and I haven't really touched on, and I don't know if that's something we need to, but how do you get your team to react on the opportunity of mistake by the other team? I mean, that's something where, you could win and lose a game based on the opportunity created on the ice, correct? I mean, we've
Yeah,
probably played thousands of games, you and I, and we probably look at the turning points of a game where a puck gets coughed up in the neutral zone or a missed pass or a defenseman tries to keep it in a blue line and there goes one of your forwards storming by a defenseman.
yeah.
How is it that your team is going to, those opportunities come, they don't come all the time, but how do you tell your team, this is where we got to grasp it? This is the difference between a 3-3 game to making it a 4-3 game.
Well, the thing is, I think they will grasp it. I just don't think they recognize the opportunity. I don't think they recognize the other team's mistake. I don't think they recognize that it's a turnover or it's a puck that they can win. I mean, if they know that they can get the puck and they know they can, capitalize on a mistake, they'll do it. But sometimes against teams where you have a bit of a mental block, they might pass it up, they might belbble it, and you almost give them too much respect, and you think, okay, well, maybe that wasn't a mistake. Maybe that's just something that happens in the game. So it's more or less just recognizing when the teams have turnovers or when they are making mistakes. And once we recognize it, I think we can capitalize on it. But it's just that little trigger of taking advantage when you recognize mistakes.
That little awareness, you said, right? Absolutely, that instinct per se. I have to ask you, do we have two goalies on the roster now?
Yes, we do. Yeah.
Okay, so Heaven's got a little backup just in case. I
Yeah.
don't want to, jinx nothing, but she's played absolutely amazing all year, taking a big brunt to the workload. How do you feel? Like, obviously, you got a couple of weeks here, or sorry, a week to get the team healthy. Outside of Andrea, how is the rest of the team health wise?
Good. We're going to be going in there with everybody at the full tank. We don't have any more games. We're going to practice now till the day we leave. And it's just fine tuning. We're not going to teach them anything new. We're not really going to fix a lot of weaknesses, but we're just going to build on our strength more or less.
You kind of took my next question. I said, is there any reason to really focus on something new? You tinker with a bit of this. You can't re-establish the wheel. The wheel is there. It's rolling. Maybe shine it up just a bit in a couple of spots. But other than that, it sounds like the female varsity team is ready to go to battle come playoff time. Is that how you're kind of feeling it from coach's perspective?
Yeah, I guess the majority of the girls have been there last year. Brad and myself were there last year. It's really just like any other weekend. I know the surrounding and everything makes it, playoffs, but it's just, you win the game ahead of you and then, you pile up enough wins to go to the final. That's really all it is. You can't really think past any game, really. You can't assume your outcome. You can't predict what, the standings will be. And again, you just approach it, and we know we've played all these teams enough. And to be honest, if the girls want to approach every team differently, then we'll find out that that doesn't work. If they want to just go in there with a clear mind and play, we'll be fine. And I think that's what pretty much any coach would say.
From a coaching perspective, Harry, you said that you were there last year. Last year was a little bit different. It was a much more senior team. You were at the top of the standings compared to this year, where I think you're sitting 4th out of 5. But like you said, the standings don't really matter because it's round robin play. It's how you approach the one game in front of you versus looking at the entire tournament as a whole. How, as a coach, do you feel it's different this year? And knowing that there is something to be strived for, nothing gained, but you have an opportunity to play kind of like a spoiler per se.
Yeah, I mean, we're kind of looking at it from the opposite end of next year. But I really, at this point, the girls from last year will remember that feeling. And for the new girls, there's no sense in reminding them that, what last year was.
They weren't there.
Yeah, exactly. So they get a fresh perspective on it. There's no sense. Let them enjoy the moment as it comes. In terms of the standings, you play the other 4 teams won. Now, whether you wear a white jersey or a black jersey, that doesn't matter. I don't think we've line matched once all year, so last change really doesn't matter. In fact, looking at the schedule, the team that finished in 3rd don't even have a game on Saturday. So they play Friday, or they play Thursday, Friday, and 2 games on Sunday, or possibly 2 games on the Friday. I can't remember, but they have a day off in between. And the way we look at it is, we get there, we play Friday, Saturday, 2 games Sunday, and then potentially Monday. So the schedule actually flows better for us. And I mean, all that matters is the order that you play the team in. But like I said, you're going to try to win them all, regardless of whether you play 1st to 4th or 4th to 1st or whoever in between. So yeah, I mean, overall, it's a clean slate. I feel differently approaching this, less pressure on myself, and just really just having fun. I mean, I don't think last year the girls were having fun at playoffs because there was a lot of expectation. This year's team, I think it'll be more enjoyable because there's that role of spoiler, but there's 4 teams playing that role, so it makes everybody dangerous.
How does it? I mean, you've played in. Is it Penticton you're going to in March?
Yeah,
That's the playoffs. You've been there before.
Yeah.
You, as a coach, the players have been there this year before, correct?
Yeah.
How does that, in terms of familiarity, help out with respect to less pressure playing on the road now, not playing in Pilot-Mound, but just that familiarity with the rink, the city, and the atmosphere around the whole playoff?
Well, you know what, the girls, they all played at there's 3 rinks there, and we're going to be playing the majority of our games in a rink that's probably not the best. So a lot of the girls haven't played in that building, and it's a little different. The rink size a little smaller. It's a little, different sight lines. But yeah, just being there. But again, I honestly find it's more distracting.
Okay.
There's what's going on. If the girls, if they buy in and they realize it's 5 days on the road with the team, but you have parents come, and there's other games going on. You have friends on other teams, and it's a busy time. You can kind of get lost in the bells and whistles of everything. But the goal for us is to keep everyone together, keep them kind of not secluded but focused. But yeah, you'd be surprised how many things creep up where grandparents show up that haven't kids or grandkids in a while and want to go for dinner, and you feel for that kind of stuff. But you go there for the goal of hockey, and once the season's done, I tell the kids, do whatever you want. As long as school's done, you can go do whatever you want. So we'll see. I don't like to say we're gonna run a tight ship and short leash, but we want the girls to know that they're there for a reason, and the reason is hockey.
Well, if there's anyone that's going to provide that focus, it'll be you and the rest of the coaching staff, Harry, I'm sure. The end of the season also means Seniors Day, which was done last weekend. Quickly touch on that. There was 3 potential players that are graduating this year?
3, yeah. We had a first year in Abby Dawson, a second year in Andrea Olstad, and then a 3rd year in Gracie Perry. So, all 3 have had different impacts on the team. Starting with Abby, she came here. She's been to academies before. She was very familiar with everything, and she just kind of came in and just kind of did her own thing. Didn't need a lot of guidance in terms of the surrounding stuff that comes with academies. Andrea, she came here a complete unknown year and a half ago, 2 years ago, and unfortunately, her season was cut short. But man, it was awesome to watch the progress she made, and she'll be missed a lot in the dressing room. And that being said, they're still going to be around each other for the next few months. But on the hockey side of it, and then Gracie, I can talk all day about Gracie. She's meant a lot to the team, even before I got here. And you know what, she's got an opportunity to leave a legacy here in Pilot-Mound in playoffs. And we haven't talked about it, but I can tell this is a moment she definitely is going to capitalize on.
Absolutely. She's been up for the most sportsmanlike award in the division through the CSSHL, which is a huge accolade for her. Were there any other players mentioned all-star wise or taken
the awards,
of accolades?
The awards are still coming out. I believe there's top goaltender, top or MVP, and I believe the leading scorer, which has already been announced. But yeah, there's two more. We put in our nominations. I believe one of the two categories will be announced today. Maybe top goaltender, I believe. I'm not sure. I feel confident having a bias, but I believe she's been the backbone of our team, and I hope the other voters see that as well. But you never know, right?
Yeah.
So it's
so off the ice, it's always good to get a little bit of steam release. There was a lot of steam rolling down a hill, apparently. Any bumps or bruises, Harry, or what's your toboggan of choice?
Well, we all had tubes. So it's like a tube.
Oh, 3 tubes, okay.
Yeah, it was just and no injuries. It was fun. I mean, we were out there for a while. It was, it hadn't been snowing here in a while, and we got to the night where we got a couple inches of snow. It was a little cold. It felt kind of like Christmas time. Everybody was having a good time, but more importantly, I shouldn't say more importantly, but there was no injuries. But most importantly, everybody really enjoyed it. We got back late last night, and yeah, it's fun. At the end of the day, I heard some parents make comments that it's kids being kids. We put a lot of, I don't want to say pressure on them because they put pressure on themselves too, but the daily grind, as they call it, depending how you want to look at it, it gets to be a lot. And at the end of the day, it's nobody thought about hockey for a couple hours in this night. Not to say they didn't want to, but they just enjoy the moment, and the whole academy experience is about enjoying every moment on and off the ice. So that's a memory that hopefully they'll have for a while.
Of course. So next weekend we head on the road.
Yeah,
and you'll be back the following Monday, Tuesday, potentially with some hardware. We'll see.
Yeah, we'll see what happens.
There you go. So good luck, congratulations,
Thank you.
and we look forward to catching up with you after the playoff round robin is finished out in BC, and we'll get a final result and see how you guys are doing.
Awesome. Look forward to it.
Congratulations on a great year, Harry. The Pilot-Mound Hockey Academy, female varsity Buffalo. Say that 5 times fast here on the PMHA show, ASTV. Thanks for joining me, Harry.
No problem.